Got the Metal Gear movie is not dead, confirms the producers. Michael Heritage over at PSU. Avi Arad has confirmed that Metal Gear Solid movie is still very much alive, despite us not having heard barely anything on the project since its announcement for years ago. I'm gonna say that was supposed to be from years ago. We last heard about the adaptation of Hideo Kojima's stealth epic
4 years ago.
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be? Dude, it was announced 4 years ago? It was that long? We've seen nothing? Wow.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to remember this, first of all, because I remember it coming out as kind of some jokes on the internet. You may recall I had sent you a meme that was Ben Stiller.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it turns out that was a real announcement.
Yeah. We last heard about the adaptation of Hideo Kojima's stealth epic in 2022 when Oscar Isaac, who at the time was set to portray Solid Snake in the film, revealed that the production team are still, quote, looking for the story, end quote. Ouch. In October, Isaac said during a chat with Comic Book that he wants the film to happen, citing MGS was his favorite game. He was later reported that Isaac was no longer attached to play Snake. Oh man.
Oh no.
Rod, however, has finally touched base on the movie, stating that the following: Brian Centret is a part of the game newsletter. Okay. Quote, we're working on the script some more, but I can't talk about it yet. I think everyone's going to be really excited and surprised. I think getting Metal Gear right will obviously be amazing because I think it's a lot more mediative than some of the other adaptations. Personally, I want it to be terrific. End quote. The Metal Gear Solid movie has yet to attract a release date and is still in the early stages of production. Dude, I didn't think they were making a game. I thought it was just a movie.
Yeah, the idea of it being early in production, of course it is, because we haven't seen or heard anything about this, but I'm also thinking it has to be early in production because the number one person I think most surprised to find out about this movie would be the man himself, Hideo Kojima. How do you go about making a Metal Gear anything without the man?
Unless it's the remake, and even then, that's a little touch and go, right?
That still remains to be.
Metal Gear Solid Delta. Dude, it looks great. I think it looks visually stunning. Can they pull it off? What I have seen, and even from the gameplay that we've seen, I'm like, I can't wait to play the game. But the movie makes me nervous. Like, we've seen great iterations moving forward, right? Especially with the TV adaptations, The Last of Us, Fallout series now moving in the world of television. It turns out fantastic. Can they do that? Or do we get the cheeseball movies that come over instead, like World of Warcraft or Monster Hunter? Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, nervous now, aren't you?
Well, the Delta changeover has a good blueprint to work with, but if we're gonna make Metal Gear Solid as a video game or as a movie adaptation, is it going to just be a one-to-one of the cutscenes? Because Hideo Kojima and those games are known for being incredibly long with cutscenes. I think Metal Gear Solid 4 has a 70-minute or a 90-minute cutscene. So I could see it very easily being just borrowed and recreated there. That'd be quite lazy in my opinion, though. So I hope we get something a little bit more meditative, as was said.
Where do they start for the movies? That's my question, right? Do we start at 1? Do we start with 3 like we're getting right now with the remake of the game, because that's the time frame, right? Where do they even begin here? In the app, they have to do this right, or they will get shredded in the comments. They'll get shredded on social. It'll be a giant mess.
I'm worried it's going to be shredded up no matter what happens, because you'll never please everybody.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The problem with Metal Gear Solid fans is that we're all my age or older, so you're not gonna make everybody happy that way. But I'm thinking because of that, if they really do want to go ahead with this, it might be Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of reverse engineered into a TV show, because that would be something new. You're not stepping on the established lore, maybe.
Weird. Yeah, I'm very curious to see where they take this.
Is there even established lore, however? As I say that, I go, well...
Dude, the flaming whale really threw me off in 5. Like, I'll never forget it. It was just like, what is happening here? But still, 5 is one I gotta go back and finish. As a huge Metal Gear fan, dude, 5 just took me through a different loop, and I was just... having a harder time with that one for some reason. I think it's also the plethora of games we have to deal with in today's day and age on a daily basis. Something else kind of get into, and the nature of the business and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, man, Metal Gear. I just gotta stream it and we'll just plow through it one day. I think that's the idea, is to kind of get that going. Maybe Scott. There's just so many things. Yeah, right. It's just Metal Gear Solid 5 is just, yeah, it's on my game of shame, to say the least.
It's it was way too long, if that makes you feel any better. It was about 30% longer than it needed to be.
Which is fair. Dude, I got sucked up into the multiplayer side of it. I think that's the other direction I went. Yeah, did you do that at all?
No, I didn't. First of all, I didn't understand what was happening until it was far too late.
Yeah, the idea that you can go out and then recruit everybody to build your home base, your mother base, and then build that up, and then infiltrate other people's mother base and then steal their stuff. And oh man,
yeah, that's the best. You get a Fulton device, everything that's not bolted down.
So cool. It's like so cool. Never saw that coming for a Metal Gear game at all, right? I played Metal Gear Solid 4 multiplayer a lot as well. So man, like I wrapped up the story of 4, got into the multiplayer, got hooked heavily in the multiplayer, had a great time. I think there's even 3 I was doing some multiplayer stuff. Like man, it's just, and then just keep iterating. I want to say there was. I could be mistaken on that one, but man, I want to say, dude, we'll have to look it up. It
must have been 4.
And maybe. But I played one of them before 5 anyways. Had a great time. And then 5 really changed it up. And man, just some of the videos that came out of that were incredible to watch. And the people going in and being all stealthy, and then you set up traps so you don't get your stuff stolen while you're gone. Like, man, what a social experiment that was. And then we got Death Stranding, which was a whole other social experiment. Very curious to see where Death Stranding 2 goes, but I'm also very curious to see where this movie even happens at this point. I think with Metal Gear, I would not be surprised, Scott, if it just got canceled.
No, I wouldn't be very surprised either, but I think if we do hear about this again, it will be because they found their star.
I hope so, and a story, but time will tell. Hit us up, let us know your comments, your thoughts on a Metal Gear movie. ITGTV.com.